So the year was 2014. Okay. 8-year-old Lane was very excited for his birthday. I wasn't super rich growing up, so I didn't get to really like go do stuff for my birthday. Usually me and my dad went out to eat to a nice restaurant or, something nice but small and simple, which was okay. I never really cared. But on my 8th birthday, we went to this little place in our town called Extreme Ultra Mega Underground Super Park or some shit like that. It was only there for like 2 or 3 years, and this is my only experience there. I don't think I ever went back. So I was really excited all week. I think I'd been telling my friends like I'm gonna be going to this place. I didn't invite any of them. I didn't invite a single person. I just realized that. I didn't invite any. I don't think we had the money though to like invite people, because I feel like if you invite a child, like you kind of got to pay for them. You know what I mean? Anyhow. So, but anyway, I'd been telling my friends all week how I was gonna have so much fun and blah 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 blah. And so we get there and we have to wait in the parking lot for a few hours for everybody to show up, which was fine. I had no problem with that. Me and my cousins and shit were all horsing around. I had a lot of cousins and brothers and stuff like my age. Like I have like 5. Then we all grew up around each other, so we'd just hang out. But we were just horsing around, and my brother showed up. He's 10 years older than me, so he used to beat the hell out of me and horse around all the time, which is fun. He shows up, and I run over to him on the gravel parking lot to mess around and have a good time. You know what I mean? So I run over to him, and I like push him or I hit him or something, and I go to run away, and I'm having fun, and I run away, and then I trip, and I'm falling, and I'm falling, and I'm falling, and then I hit the ground. It's just gravel, right? It's just gravel. Nothing crazy. It's just gravel. Lane, you've fallen on gravel 100 times. So I get up and my head kind of hurts pretty bad. So I'm thinking I conked myself pretty good. Oh, great. Another concussion. Another one. By fucking concussion 12 at this point, right? Probably really not, but so I go to walk over to my dad and tell him that I hit my head and everything. And my dad just has this look of horror on his face, right? Like a parent who's really trying to hide something, right? He kind of looks at me and goes, okay, right. So I put a hole in my head on my birthday, 8th birthday. I put a hole in the, like, I don't remember exactly where it was. It was somewhere like behind, like almost behind the ear back here. Luckily away from the fucking temple. I could have died looking back on it, but I put a hole in my head with a rock, right? So my dad and growing up, I had a bad experience with some nurses and needles. When I was 5, I had a bunch of nurses stab me in the knees with some needles, and we never got no compensation. I should have went back and, ooh, I hate you, lady. I hate you. If I ever find you, I'm gonna take your knees. Yeah. Anyway, so I was very scared of needles, and I don't like hospitals in general. So my dad was like, buddy, we're gonna have to take you to the hospital. And I said, no. And my dad said, you have to go to the hospital. There's a hole in your head. And I said, but are we going to have time to come back and play? And he said, well, no, we'll be in the hospital all night. And I said, well, then no. So we got one of those really big Band-Aids, the ones that are like yay big. They're like the square. I just don't have 2 hands to show you. They're like the square. And we just kind of, over my hair. I was a short-haired kid, so it kind of worked out. We're just over my hair. When I tell you, that was the stickiest Band-Aid of all time. We spent 2 hours the next day. 2 hours. He had an 8-year-old child with ADHD, bad ADHD, and probably autism, stand still for 2 hours while he had to go over with one of those like a beard trimmer, like the small skinny things that don't cut a lot of hair at once, and just kind of just shave little bits around the band-aid so he could pull the band-aid off, because it was pulling my hair so bad when he tried to pull it out. But when I tell you that I would have done it over and over again to experience that day I experienced there, I got to cheat in laser tag. So you know how they have the headband? Well, we walked in and we're like, well, he was like, at first he said I probably couldn't play laser tag, which I was okay with. I understood with a hole in my head. I probably shouldn't be running around and doing a bunch of horse shit. But I walk up to the guy and we kind of mess with him and we're like, so what are the chances you'd let my son cheat and not wear the head part and just wear like the chest and the waist part? Because it was like a full body laser tag one. And the guy goes, there's like 4 people here. So we just threw the little headband around my neck and it kind of just swung around and smacked me in the face the whole time. And I sprinted around like there wasn't a hole in my head. Probably shouldn't have done that. Looking back on it. I was too young to play the extreme bow and arrow they had. They had like a bow and arrow game or an archery game where you would, you'd shoot at your friends, but they had, like rubber tips, so they just hurt really bad. And they also had this box. It really wasn't that cool of a place. So like I really should have probably went to the hospital. Anyway, that's my story about how I split my head open on my 8th birthday.